Hello, I'm here.
Hello, teacher.
I'll be in 30 seconds, I'll be on.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, this is Priscilla, and welcome to the Conversational Hour. I hope all is well. And today, our topic on verbally will be dogs are jealous too. So let me
Okay.
welcome our first student. Hello, Abel. How are you today?
I'm fine, teacher. Thanks for asking. How are
Great.
you?
Very good. It's nice to see you here. I hope that you are ready for an exciting hour of conversation.
Yes, I'm still a little sleepy, but I guess I do my best.
Okay, do your best. Do your best. That's great,
Yeah.
though, that you're
Okay.
pushing on, you're getting up, getting a good start on the day.
Yeah.
Our topic for today is going to be our topic for today is going to be dogs are jealous too. Our objective is for each student to have an opportunity to practice using techniques to improve and apply comprehension strategies as you actively engage in contributing your efforts to learning from this short, simple passage. All right, with that said, I'm going to bring in our document for today for us to read. And let me know when you can see the
Yeah.
document.
Yes, I can see it.
Great. All right. Okay, scroll up. All right, here is our document for today. I'm going to take a moment and read the document,
Okay.
and I want you to listen to the sound of my voice and the way I read. When it's your turn to read, you will do the same.
Okay.
And it is dogs are jealous too. Dog lovers have known since time began that pets get jealous. But now a new study has shown that it is true. A professor from the University of California conducted research into what makes dogs jealous. Dr. Christine Harris first decided to investigate canine jealousy after she noticed strange behavior among her parents' three border collies. She noticed that when she stroked two of the pooches at the same time, they became aggressive toward each other. Both dogs tried to knock her hand away from the other so they could receive maximum attention, she said. To me, that really fit with the core motivation of jealousy. I was petting them with both my hands, not just one. They wanted exclusive attention. That got me to thinking about jealousy in dogs. Professor Harris adapted a jealousy test commonly used on young children. Her research team conducted tests on 36 different dogs in their homes and videoed their reactions. The dog's owner had to read a short passage from a book while petting a toy dog that wagged its tail and a Halloween lantern. Harris wanted to see how the dogs reacted to their owner petting the toy dog, as well as looking at if looking as if they had any reaction to petting of the lantern. She noticed the dogs were twice as likely to be jealous of the toy dog. A third of the dogs tried to muscle in between the toy and its owner. Professor Harris thinks it is important to understand jealousy more. She said, jealousy is the third leading cause of non-accidental homicide across cultures. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're going to go back to the top.
hmm In fact, I have a little female dog, a Yorkshire,
Mm-hmm.
and she's very jealous when I hug my wife or when I kiss her.
Mm-hmm.
She she immediately began barking, very not aggressively, but hysterically.
Wow. Isn't that something? And does your wife like the dogs? I mean, is she nice to the dogs?
Yeah, because she's like the dog is the little dog is like her our daughter her, is
Uh-huh.
our like our daughter,
Okay.
and my
Wow.
wife take care of her all the time, and she
Uh-huh.
loves her.
Right.
Yeah,
That's interesting. That is
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
so you have one of those jealous pets.
yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow. Well, let's find out some other things about jealous dogs. I've never known that dogs were jealous. I just thought that they were
It might,
overprotective or something. Hmm.
yeah. I discovered that with this with my pet, with
Uh-huh.
my present pet. Yeah,
Wow. That's interesting. Okay, Abel.
yeah.
What we're going to do is ask a few questions before we get started. Where are my questions? Oh, this is not the story. I opened up the wrong one. Let's see if I can get the one about the pets. Okay, I'm trying to pull it up. Okay. Folks are jealous too. Go back. Okay. Okay, this is it. Let's see if it's up. Yeah, there it goes. All right. So we're going to ask ourselves a few questions and answer these questions. Okay. Can you define jealousy, Abel?
Yellow, yeah, yellow sea is mm, is an uncontrolled desire to someone or something in competition with other.
Jealousy is a competition
Hmm.
between and do with the emotions, maybe. How about
Yeah.
that pretty now? Okay. What are some characteristics of jealousy?
Is uh, when you are when you do something without your volunteer. Is it involunteer? Involunteer? It's not volunteer.
Okay, so uh, I and be an
Involuntary action.
involuntary action.
Yeah,
Hmm.
involuntary action.
Okay. Sadness, display of sad, a display and display of ownership.
Hmm.
Anything else?
Uh, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, those are pretty good. That's enough. All right. Okay. How do you recognize jealousy? Abel,
Uh,
how do you recognize jealousy?
mm, with some kind of aggressions from the shallows part with in relation with the the part in competition or even the object of jealousy.
Okay. And maybe I recognize it. Change almost in.
Mhm.
Have you ever experienced jealousy?
Yes, I am ashamed to say that, but in fact, I do. I did.
Okay, so you have, and I have also. I've felt jealousy also. Okay, do you know of a quote or a phrase about jealousy?
Yeah, here
Okay.
the jealousy is the mediocrity of the insecures. Is a
Mm.
common
The mediocrity of what?
of the insecure people.
Wow. Deep.
It's pretty hard, but
Yeah, the mediocrity of insecure people. So if a person was not insecure, they would be fine. It would not mediocrity. Would not be mediocre.
you
Nice.
know,
Hmm.
maybe it's an instinct. Sometimes jealousy is instinctively,
Hmm.
but as many instincts, you have to know how to deal with.
Exactly. Exactly. I think it usually, well, not usually, but I know it happens a lot between girls and boys when they break up and they see the person that they cared for a long time with
Yeah.
spending time with someone else that
Hmm.
they do get jealous. Hmm.
Yes, and I think that accelerate the the rupture.
You celebrate the what?
No, I think that that kind of behavior accelerate the
Hmm.
rejection of the other.
Oh, exactly, exactly. It accelerates the rejection of the other because the other one, like, that's why I left you to begin with. You're just
Yeah,
so independent.
that's right.
That's why I
Exactly.
left. Okay, so let's take a look at these words. Can you
Okay.
pronounce these words for me?
Okay. Aggressive, motivation, attention, cultures, reactions, jealous, research, homicide.
Okay. Now, can you give me a sentence with the thought of jealousy in mind and use these words in a sentence? For example, his aggressive behavior was that resulted in his killing his wife because of his jealousy. So you're going to use the word jealousy in each one of the sentences that you create with the
Hmm.
word with the words that are given. Okay? You may
Okay.
try now.
Okay. Uh, he's jealous and sometimes has an aggressive behavior.
Hmm.
Um, mm, his lack of motivation. No. Uh, yes, his lack of motivation made him jealous about his classmates.
Okay.
Uh, we have to pay attention when we have a jealous behavior from the part of our children.
Okay.
Uh, in different cultures, the the jealous emotion has different implications.
Okay, great.
Sometimes he's jealous, and sometimes his reactions are really tough.
Okay, good.
Jealous.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that one I didn't mean.
No
Okay.
problem. Okay. Um, in the last research, scientists found that shallows is common in pets too.
Okay.
Most of the or several of the murder in the last year was related to shallows behavior.
Hmm. Did you use the word homicide?
Ah, no, murder. In the last year, the most of the homicides were related to jealous behavior.
Okay, great. We're still talking about jealousy. So let's look at these examples of why people get jealous. Give me a piece of clothing, an article of clothing that
Mhm.
people might get jealous about.
For example, girls usually get jealous in a friendly way when one of her friends get the last shirt or the most fashion piece of cloth.
Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever seen girls get jealous over that?
all
Yes
the
or
t- all the time.
no? Okay. And what do you think could be done to stop that type of behavior?
I don't know if you can stop that. I think it's part of our culture, and it's part of the folklore.
Okay, let's go with not sure. I could say that I think too. It would for me. It would be clothing and shoes.
Hmm.
Be shoes and hats. Yes, I have experienced it as well.
Hmm.
So I'm going to say yes. And how would I stop it? Everyone would wear the same thing.
No, but if you do that, the other person will be get jealous about you because you are um disrupting his or her exclusivity.
Yeah, but it would not be me that would putting that
Ah,
out.
okay. You put the jealousy in another part,
Yeah.
another place.
So
Okay,
everybody would have to wear. Okay,
it's an strategy.
what about looks or appearances? Have you seen people get jealous about that?
Uh, yes, the girls too, with the hair comb or haircut or that kind of things. I really don't care very much about my look, so I know that I know a disaster, but I just put my trousers, a pair of jeans, and a t-shirt, and that's it.
And go. But
Yeah,
girls tend to do more. We'll fix our hair, we'll
yeah,
fix our clothing.
that's right, that's right.
Okay, what about talent? Is there
Oh,
particular
talent is
talent?
a more complicated thing because I guess mm, men and women are similar jealous about talent of other people.
Mhm,
Um, yeah, and I have experience even myself. It's I am
uh-huh.
ashamed to say that, but even some a long time ago, fortunately I think I got more mature about that. But when I was younger, I used to be a little jealous, or even worse, not just jealous, but envy. I felt
Wow. You just
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You didn't wish them well. If you couldn't do it, you weren't really wishing them the best. Okay. What about relationships? What about relationships like girlfriend, boyfriend?
Okay, I'm not especially jealous, but sometimes when I see my wife with some male friend,
Hmm.
talking mm, very friendly, I get a little jealous.
Hmm.
I totally trust her, but even though I get a little
Yeah,
jealous.
I understand. So what do you do?
If the situation is a little out of place, I talk with my wife. Please try not to do that, and
Uh,
uh,
and and you know sometimes Abel, it's not even the spouse, it's the other person that just keep pressing and pressing, and that's like, oh.
Yes, but my wife has a strong character,
Mhm.
so she knows how to stop any chat or anything.
Okay. All
So
right.
I have no problem. We skip
What?
a talent solving problem. Uh,
Oh,
I solved that problem working harder in order to improve not my talent because it's something inborn, but maybe my skills.
okay. So all talent. Yeah, I guess it is. Some students seem to be born with talent, and there are others who have to work with it very hard. Okay, what
Mhm.
about your lifestyle?
Uh, I'm very frugal in my lifestyle, even though I have money to live a more, how how do you say,
You have a
with
little more that you have a little more discretionary income that you can choose how to spend it.
yeah, I have an income bigger than my needs.
Okay.
So my needs are very frugal because I don't need a fancy car. I don't need to go to Ibiza on vacation. I really enjoy my life, and I do a lot of things, but my lifestyle is not. I don't have jealous about the lifestyle of other people, but I recognize that some people or a lot of people are jealous about the other people's lifestyle, the car they have, the house they have, the
So what do
place.
so
Yes,
what do you do? Do you try not to be so flashy that you have excess? You don't advertise, "Oh, I don't need that." You don't brag, do you?
yes, that's exactly. I don't pay attention to the consumist fashion or trend.
So when your wife sees someone that has on a nice watch and nice rings and nice
You know,
necklace, she doesn't say, "Oh, honey, I want one too."
it's very weird. But when I get married with my wife,
Uh-huh.
she was even more frugal than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I teach in brackets. I teach her how to spend wisely because
Okay.
sometimes he used to buy some item very cheap, and I told her it's a waste of money because if you buy some very cheap, it's very poor quality,
Mm-hmm.
and the duration or it lasts very half of the time that other expensive items. So you need to buy wisely.
Oh,
Maybe
that's good.
pay a little more now, but you enjoy the item for a very long time or for more long time,
Yeah, for a very long time.
very long time.
Okay. And more and longer, I can't tell you grammatically, will not go together.
Okay,
It's more longer. It could be very long or much longer.
much longer. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And mobile phone. Are people jealous of mobile phones?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
And why would that be?
I don't know because all the people try to be on the crest of the whale. Um, you know, a lot of people are is pay attention to the last device, the last mobile device, and maybe they are jealous not to have it.
Okay. And what's the solution?
Well, I don't think there is a solution unless the jealous person stop paying attention to the last device, to the high tech uh, mm, improving or new. The last tech new.
Okay. All right. All right. So now we come to the point where we will both read. Well, you will
Mhm.
actually read. You will read the story. Dogs are jealous too. All right.
Okay.
You may start when you're ready.
Okay. Dogs are jealous too.
Oh, wait.
Ah,
There's someone else that's here. Hello,
okay.
Hello, Raphael. I didn't see that you were here until just now. How are you?
Hello, Priscilla and Annabelle. I'm fine. I
Hello,
just
Good.
got
Rafael.
here. Sorry for being late.
Oh, no
Ah,
problem.
don't worry.
No problem. We were just enjoying about being jealous. All right. So, have you ever experienced jealousy, Raphael?
I think it happens every day. We are jealous. I'm not sure if I should use about or for. uh,
Okay.
I'm jealous for about my friends,
Okay. So you'll be
uh,
jealous of your friends.
of
I'm jealous of
preposition,
my friends. Mm-hmm.
of my
And in
stuff sometimes.
what way might you give me an example of how you might be jealous of your friends?
Uh, I'm jealous of my friends when they don't give me enough attention.
All of your friends, or just a?
It's weird because I don't think we can say that, oh, I have a lot of friends. I think it doesn't exist. But I have three friends,
Uh
and
huh.
sometimes it's hard to share them. I
Okay.
know it's necessary. It's the way we live. We need to share everything that we have, but
Mhm.
sometimes we want them just for us, only for us.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that sounds like jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you're right. Jealousy, I think, is a way of life. It's a part of life. So, well, we were talking about jealousy. Now we're going to read more about it ourselves. So, I'm going to ask Abel to start. Abel, could you read first? And then we'll ask Raphael to read the next one. You may start.
Okay. Dog lovers have known since time began that pets get jealous, but now a new study has shown that it is true. A professor for the University of California conducted research into what makes dogs jealous. Dr. Christine Harris first decided to investigate canine jealousy after she noticed strange behavior among her parents' three border collies.
Okay. And Raphael?
She noticed that when she worked two of the pooches at the same time, they became aggressive towards each other,
And this word is stroked. Stroke.
stroked.
Mm-hmm.
Both dogs tried to knock her hand away from the other so they could receive maximum attention. She said to me that really fit with the core motivation of jealousy. I was petting them with both my hands, not just one. They wanted exclusive attention. They got me to thinking about jealousy in dogs.
Okay, great. Abel?
Okay, Professor Harris adapted a jealousy test commonly used on young children. Her research team conducted tests on 36 different dogs in their homes and videoed their reactions. The dog's owner had to read a short passage from a book while petting a toy dog that waved its tail and a Halloween lantern.
Okay, this word is wagged. Wag.
Wagged,
Mm-hmm.
wagged.
Good. Okay, Raphael.
Harris wanted to see how the dogs reacted to their owner petting the toy dog, as well as looking to see if there is any reaction to the petting of the lantern. She noticed that the dogs were twice as likely to be jealous of the toy dog. A third of the dogs tried to muscle in between the toy and its owner. Professor Harris thinks it is important to understand jealousy more. She said jealousy is the third leading cause of non-accidental homicide across cultures.
Okay, and what do you think non-accidental homicide is? What is that? What is non-accidental homicide?
I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, do you know what it is, Abel?
Yes, it's when you kill someone without willing to do that.
Without without
No,
willing, or
excuse me, willing to do that.
yeah, they do it intentionally because
Yeah, intentional.
they're so raging mad and jealous. Ooh, my wife was talking to another man. I know she's cheating on me. I'm going to kill him and her. But the only thing that the wife and the man were doing were just greeting each other and hugging because they had not seen each other in such a long time. Or it could be that they were even relatives that had not seen each other in a long time, but there would be appearances that it's something else. All right, so Raphael, can you summarize this entire article for me? Or tell the story? Tell the story of this article.
Mm, okay, it's hard to remember everything, but it's a research about jealousy, and it's surprising because dogs are as jealous as we are, I think, according to the uh, research.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't remember much.
Okay. Well, that sounds like about 40%. Let's hear from Abel. Abel, can you retell this story?
Um, my part of the story or the whole story?
The entire story.
Okay. The story tells about many people who have pets knew from the past that pets usually are jealous, but a couple of scientists tried to put that into a research, and in fact discovered that it's a true reaction from pets,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
that kind of that's it.
Okay. That's about 70%. What I didn't hear you talk about, the accidental homicide, and 36 dogs were used. That would give me about 80%. We're going to talk about this some more, and hopefully we can get up both of you up to 80%. So now let's talk a little bit about dogs.
Mhm,
And two students, which will be you, Raphael, and Abel, you're
mhm.
going to create your own dialogue about these dogs or about dogs. But I want to summarize this story for you. This story is about dogs being jealous. One day, this researcher was just petting her very own dogs, or her parents' dogs. She realized that one of the dogs was getting jealous no matter how much she petted the other dog was still jealous, so she even tried to use both hands on both dogs, and there was jealousy still there. She asked some of her friends to create an experiment and participate in some research with a lantern. So she would pet the lantern, or the researchers would pet the lantern, and then they would pet the dog. The dog showed emotional jealousy when the lantern was petted. Another thing that the researcher did was she realized that there are more non-accidental homicides that involve jealousy than one would have thought. And that's about all that I can remember at this point. All right, so the two of you will create a dialogue. I'll quickly read the story again. Dog lovers have known since time began that pets get jealous, but now a new study has shown that it is true. A professor from the University of California conducted research into what makes dogs jealous. Dr. Christy Harris first decided to investigate canine jealousy after she noticed strange behavior among her parents' three border collies. She noticed that when she stroked two of the pooches at the same time, they became aggressive towards each other. Both dogs tried to knock her hand away from the other so they could receive maximum attention. She said, "To me, that really fit with the core motivation of jealousy. I was petting them with both my hands, not just one. They wanted exclusive attention. That got me to thinking about jealousy in dogs. Professor Harris adapted a jealousy test commonly used on young children. Her research team conducted tests on 36 different dogs in their homes and videoed their reactions. The dog's owner had to read a short passage from a book while petting a toy that wagged its tail and a Halloween lantern. Harris wanted to see how the dogs reacted to their owner petting the toy dog, as well as looking to see if there is any reaction to the petting of the lantern. She noticed that the dogs were twice as likely to be jealous of the toy dog. A third of the dogs tried to muscle in between the toy and its owner. Professor Harris thinks it is important to understand jealousy more. She said, jealousy is the third leading cause of non-accidental homicide across cultures. All right. So here you are. Student A believes that dogs have all the same emotions as humans. Student B believes the opposite of student A. Okay, student A will be Abel, and
Okay.
student B will be Raphael. All right, so start with your conversation for maybe about 1 minute.
Okay.
Abel, please start.
Yeah. So according to my experience, I'm witnessed some behavior on dogs, even my own dog, that allows me to know that the pets has the same emotion that human being as, for example, jealousy, for example, exciting, for example, sadness, and so on. What do you think, Rafael, about that?
I understand your point. I also have a dog, but I I don't agree with you completely because I have a dog. I have a big family, and actually I have two dogs,
Hmm.
and I can share my attention with them, and nothing happens. They don't become aggressive.
Mm.
Okay. But you know, Rafael, I was almost as skeptical like you, as you, and after a while, I learned that the part of the brain that produce emotions are very ancient part of the brain that we share that part of the brain with dogs and other kind of animals.
Yeah, I understand, but it's about the way you share your attention. Because if you care too much about one dog and then you leave the other one, of course they're going to become jealous, and we feel this way too, don't you
Hmm.
think?
Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Okay, but that's okay. We're going to stop there because what I want you to do is just get the practice of opening and closing a sentence or a statement. All right, in 2 minutes or less, I want each of you to give me as many words as you can, single words that deal
Hmm.
with aggressiveness. Okay, I'm writing as you give them to me. Hatred.
Harm.
Hmm.
Mm, Rafa?
Okay,
Uh,
just keep going, both of you. I can type them both. Just give me as
Ah,
many.
okay. Okay. Um,
Angriness.
Okay,
mhm.
Angriness.
I don't think angriness is a word. I think it's just
Uh,
angry.
angry.
I don't know this word
Yeah.
angriness.
Instinct.
Maybe 4 more words.
Reaction.
Good. Okay, 2 more.
Angriness is not a word, according to Cambridge Dictionary.
I didn't think I had ever heard angriness before.
No, it's not a word. You're right.
Okay.
It could be, you know.
Well, maybe. Maybe. We're adding words every day that we make up, so
Yeah, that's why. That's
maybe.
right.
Okay. All right. Let's just go with those. Okay. So let's see if we can create a little story using these words that we have here that will deal with aggressiveness. His aggressive behavior demonstrated his hatred for himself. The only thing that I can say is that jealousy can cause harm and will make people grieve. They will grieve because they're sad, perhaps because of a loss of life. And people are not so much like animals, but people are instinctive. They react without giving much thought. This brings about anger and sometimes brings out the aggressive behavior within a person. All right, your sentences don't have to make complete sense. I just want your mouth to be moving and you're talking. Okay, Raphael, you can go first. Create a little story from these words.
Mm, I don't think we should be possessive because being possessive brings a lot of bad behaviors and feelings like jealousy, hatred. Sometimes you want to harm people just because you want everything for yourself, and then you're going to become sad because of your bad behavior,
Mm-hmm.
and people will get angry with you because of that.
Mm-hmm. Can you use these three?
And I think that it's part of our instinct because we are humans, but it's our duty to control our reactions, and I don't know what grievance means.
Grievance means to be sad or missing someone. Like when parents die or children die, we grieve, we cry, we're sad.
And people will grieve about our bad behavior.
Okay, good. Abel?
Yeah. Um, Sometimes jealousy produce hatred in some people. Sometimes the excessive jealousy conduct to some situations when someone get harmed. The jealousy produce grievance in some people or sadness, and even worse, some people get angry about jealousy because they can control it. I think jealousy is an instinct and has produced some reactions of uh, possession over other people or things.
Okay, very good. Now let's take a look at some true, and both of you did a great job with those words. Eventually, when you see the words, I want you to recognize the words and be able to instinctively recall something of this story so that you can understand how these words might apply in the story or the text that you're reading. All right. Abel, will you do A through D?
Mhm.
You can just read it and tell me whether it's true or false.
Okay. Dog lovers have always known that dogs get jealous. True.
Okay.
A professor studied jealousy in dogs after observing her parents' dogs. True.
Okay.
A professor watched it as two dogs tried to beat her hand. False.
Okay. And
The woman was stroking the dogs with one hand. False.
okay. She was stroking them with two hands. Good. And Raphael, would you take D through G? I mean E through H. E through H. Raphael, unmute your microphone.
Oh, sorry. Researchers used a test usually used with children on the dogs. I'm not sure. I
Okay,
think it's true.
It is true.
Honors.
Let's go back and find it. Okay, Professor Harris adopted jealousy test going to use on young children. Control C. Okay. So, could you read this sentence for me? Read this sentence for me.
Professor Harris adapted a jealousy test commonly used on young children.
Okay, so the answer is true.
Thank you.
F.
Owners had to sing to their dogs as part of the research. I think it's false.
They had to read to them. Okay.
Dog owners try to make their dog jealous by petting a lantern. True.
Good.
Jealousy is the second biggest cause of non-accidental homicides. False, because it's the third.
Very good. It is a third. Good. Now, here are some synonym matches. See if you can remember. Here are the words below. These words 1 through 10 are the same words here, 1 through 10. What words go in the blank? Let's see if I can do it this way so you can see them better. Okay, let's go. Merge cells, and then I'm going to split the cells into 10. Okay, so this one's going to be port. So I want you to choose the synonyms and tell me what the synonym is. So cut. All right. So Abel, can you do 1 through 5?
Okay. Study is observed. Conducted is did. Noticed is noticed report.
Okay.
Petting is I don't know, stroking.
It is stroking. Good.
And exclusive is soul.
Great. Fantastic. Okay. Now, Raphael, can you do the remainder?
Adapted. Adapted. I'm not sure.
Okay, the word modified means to change, make it fit. Adapted means to change and make fit. So it is
goes to
modified.
Commonly,
Okay,
frequently.
continue. Commonly is frequently.
Passage.
Okay.
Source.
It could be.
That's so weird.
Let's see if it's going to be source.
Reaction, response.
Reaction is going to be response. Okay. Cause, extract. Cause is to extract. Okay, let's see if we kind of agree with all of those. Let me look.
I confess that it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, cause might be to cause.
Source.
Well, no, source is going to be no source is not going to be passage. The passage is going to be the extract, response, source frequently. The source might be the report. The report. Let's see if I find another one for report. Observed. Observed is going to be noticed. To notice is going to be observed. This one's going to be observed. So OBSERVED. This one's going to be observed. So where can we put this report? So it's exclusive report. Adapted, modified, commonly, frequently, passage, source, reaction, response, cause. I'm not sure where I would put report, but it is not observed.
Study?
Study. Yeah, but we've got study. Oh, we've got observed twice. Okay, so notice. Notice. So, I'm gonna have to work on that one. I don't want to look at. Oh, we're looking for a word that's a synonym. Okay, we're gonna have to work on that one. Let me not just find the answer. How is this phrase used in the story? Tell me what it said. Dog lovers have known what?
That pets were cellos from the beginning.
Good. Okay, Raphael, how was 2? What was 2?
Conducted research into what? I don't remember.
What the pets did about the pet's behavior. They conducted research on the pet's behavior. Okay, Abel, 3? Strange.
Strange. I think that the strange thing was that pets have some jealousy reactions like human being.
And received maximum. What was that one about, Abel?
Receive maximum. It's under. Receive maximum
attention. They
attention.
Want to, And how was I was petting?
I was petting my parents' dog.
And Abel videotaped Raphael. Raphael videotaped there.
Dogs? Children?
They videotaped their dogs during the
reaction. The reaction.
Yeah, their dog's reaction. And Raphael, 7, a short passage.
I don't remember.
That's what the people were doing. They were reading a short passage to the lantern and to the dog wagging the tail. Abel, dogs were twice.
No, I don't remember neither.
I don't remember that one either. What about number 9?
Jealousy is the third cause of non-accidental homicide.
Okay, so you got 9 and 10 there together.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine. Here's the comprehension questions. Abel, take 1 through 5.
Since when have dog owners known that the pet gets jealous from the beginning?
Okay.
How many dogs did the professor's parents have? 2. How many dogs did the professor stroke? 36.
Okay.
What did 2 dogs try to do to the professor's hand apart from the other?
Try to
What
separate
did
them.
separate? Yes. What did the dogs want to be to receive exclusive attention?
Great. And 6 through 10, Raphael?
How many dogs were part of the tests? I think there were 36 dogs.
Okay, and so this answer was 2,
Two.
um, not 36. How many dogs did the professor stroke? He only stroked 2, but there were 36 in the test. Okay, number 7.
What did the dogs have to listen to? Stories, short
Good,
stories. What
good.
happened to the tail of the toy dog? Mm,
I'm not sure either.
uh, I think it was shaking.
Oh, that's right. It was shaking. Yes, it was shaking. Okay.
What does Professor Harris think is important? No, I don't. I don't know.
Okay, I don't either. Abel, do you remember?
He's not here anymore. He's gone.
Okay. All right. And what is the third leading cause of jealousy?
Uh, Non-accidental
Homicide.
homicides.
That's correct. Okay. Well, we're back to the top of the hour, and I think he may have gone because classes do start on time, and it's a good thing to be in the class especially if it's a great class, because they fill up pretty quickly. All right. So we're at the top of the hour. Can you tell me what is your final word about today's activity? Did you enjoy today's topic? Did you learn some things that you'll be able to
Yeah,
use?
I enjoyed it a lot. Of
Okay.
course, through the text, we find some new words,
Mm-hmm.
and what I am struggling since I decided to learn English is I struggle to keep the new words. I have an exercise that works for me, but
Okay.
it doesn't work with tests. For example, I noticed that when I memorize the lyrics of a song,
Mm-hmm.
the words uh, remain.
They come automatically, and you
Yes,
remember
yes.
easily.
Sometimes out of the blue they come and I say
Uh,
them.
uh-huh.
But when I am reading, of course it helps because I'm exercising uh, my pronunciation and uh, new vocabulary, but it doesn't work.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot keep the new words, but it's always good to read
Mm-hmm.
texts,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very interesting to know that dogs are as jealous as we are.
Okay. And so using today's lesson, I would suggest as a strategy for you to think about the words that we learned in this text. The best way, or one of the best ways, it's not the best way perhaps, but it is one of the better ways, is to retell the story using the vocabulary. Of course, you'll have to maybe write the vocabulary down, but then once you write it down and you start to retell the story as we did here, um, this is the wrong one. That's my class that's coming up next. Uh, Dogs too. As you retell the story, think about the vocabulary, think about the story, and you'll put the words in context. For example, the words that we had observed, we know that the people observed, we know that the stroking of the dogs modified was to change the behavior frequently. So just think about the story. And when you think about the story, here are some words that you heard this word harm in the story about
Mhm.
the jealous dogs, and dogs do things instinctively. So when you retell the story, you should have a better understanding of the words that were used. That is a good way, I think, to help remember how to use the words. All right. Apart from that, is there anything else? So continue to listen to the songs. Continue to listen to songs and increase your vocabulary, but continue to read little small stories, not long articles. It's good to read long articles, but if you're building vocabulary quickly, read short stories and try to retell the story, pulling out the vocabulary and retell the story. It doesn't have to be the exact story, but you want to use the vocabulary so that you can remember how it was used. All right?
Yeah. It's also important to learn synonyms
Yes.
because sometimes you keep using the same word
Word.
over and
Over
over
and
and
over.
over again, and you seem repetitive because you want to say something
Mhm.
in a different way, and you can't because you don't have enough vocabulary, and that's what
E-
I'm working on.
Exactly. And you can use many stories such as this one to do the same because we had lots of synonyms for the word aggressive. So we could use lots of those words too. So you got the right idea how to approach it. Okay? Well, I
Mhm.
have a class starting right after this one, so I'm going to say goodbye, but thank you very much for your
Thank
time
you. Thank you.
today. I enjoyed the lesson, and I hope to see you again very soon. Okay?
Bye bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.